Welcome to Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11.
And welcome into Home Track Heroes here on a Sunday. Excited to be here hanging out and entertaining you guys. My name is Caleb Hart. He is Derek Todoroff, DT on TV. It is your favorite Figure 8 Mania at the races, brought to you by Seattle 11. We got all kinds of good stuff for you, including all three of our Figure 8 divisions.
Of course, heading to my favorite track we've got here at the Evergreen Speedway. Having a lot of fun with the Outlaws, Superstock Figure 8s, and Stinger 8s, plus some support from the Street Stocks, Mini Stocks, and the Hornets.
The Hornets are up first, like we were telling you. It's a wide and varied show with a real heavy emphasis on the figure eights. This show would not be possible without the fine folks at Gene Johnson Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Let's get off and started and send you down to the 70-year-old Evergreen Speedway surface where the Hornets tonight are going reverse style. Reverse road course?
It is the reverse road course.
All right. Your lineup looks like this. Preston Brandt on the pole in the 32 car, sponsored by North County Towing. Next to him, Brett Ferris, the 13 from Snohomish in the Urban Renovation car.
The Wise Investment Group 4Rs, Gabriel Guevara out of Snohomish. The other Snohomish native next to him, Trueline Wheel and Frame aboard the 101 of Brian McNamara.
Row 3, Joseph Villarreal from San Marcos, Texas, the 029. Next to him, it's the 024 of Donna Gillespie out of Oregon.
The Snow Valley Farms 08 of Bobby Houck lines up next to the 42 Duval native of Dempsey Graham.
Row number 5 is Mike Ridley. He's from Granite Falls in the 66. Next to him, the 022 of Michael Turner, also from Oregon.
Valley Asphalt 17S is Gino Solomon out of North Bend, next to the Gutter Installer 21L of Dustin Lytle from Marysville.
This is the 7th row with the 43 of Damian Claiborne out of Snohomish, the Abendroth Equine sponsored car, and the 03 of Lucas House and Fluck out of Lake Stevens, sponsored by Cornerstone Homes.
Valley Asphalt also aboard the 717 Cleellum native of Diesel Snyder. He's next to his dad out of Snohomish, sponsored by Handy in the Valley, Matt Snyder in the number 15.
It is row number 9 with Scarlett Fisher in the 19 out of Marysville. Next to her, the very fast Christian Miller in the 77 out of Everett, sponsored by Turbo Espresso.
Row 10's going to bring you second and first in points in the exterior wall systems 00 out of Everett is Dan Miller. Alongside your points leader and defending champion, the Hibbs Automotive number 1 out of Snohomish, Zach Bristol.
Starting 21st on the field, the 30, Pat Folger out of Arlington, sponsored by Olympia Pizza. And your 22nd starter is Tegan Bjornson in car number 59. It's the Misfit Motorsports car out of Arlington.
Your final row has the number 86, sponsored by Butch, Steve, and Zach. David Dixon out of Arlington, next to the 67 of Zachary Dixon.
All Dixons in the back. 22 other drivers up in front of them as we'll go 30 times around. You've seen the long loops here on the reverse road course, the Speedway Chevrolet Pace car pulling off the field, and this field is ready to go. Green flag action here at the white stripe down the front straightaway. Off and running with Brandt and Ferris. 1 and 2, Preston Brandt. Boy, that car awfully bright.
Yeah, the bright pink number 32 going to fall back to second, running a bit higher up the track as compared to where Ferris ran through that first corner. Donna Gillespie making that move to the low side here for third underneath McNamara and Guevara.
Preston had said, yeah, I got a second race car. Look out, we got one around in the middle of the corner. That is the 66 of Ridley. See if Ridley can get back up and running. Anyways, Preston was telling me he had a second car. He said, you'll know it when you see it. And it's, I don't know, almost watermelon color? What do you think?
Certainly a bright pink. I suppose watermelon is a way to describe that.
Yeah, it's a shade of pink and red-ish. As we go caution, Ridley could never get the 66 up and fired. Let's take a second look at it. It'll be the white and red car on your screen. Got a little nose-in help coming into the turn. And never could get her fired back up. So restack them, re-rack them, get them ready to go again, as we still have nearly every lap that we did originally left here for the PRCBD Hornets. Back to the track as they're now ready to go back to action.
I think I might call it bubblegum. Bubblegum pink?
It's a little dark for that.
Maybe. Maybe just so many artificial colors in the bubblegum these days.
I do like the offsetting small white spoiler on the back, though. It makes it even easier to see, right?
It does, it does.
And from the announce booth, if it's easier to see, it is always a big fan for us, as Brandt's going to dip the tires down below the white stripe coming off the corner. And we are back to green flag action. Ferris leads, Gillespie 2, and the 101 of Brian McNamara working for position number 3.
But the driver who started on row number 8, Diesel Snyder's made his way up, and with Donna Gillespie missing that corner, going to go up into second. The 717 in 2 laps has gone to second, now going to battle for the lead up the high side against Ferris.
If you remember the last time Home Track Heroes was on, it was Snyder trying to battle around Ferris, Snyder and the family as it was, trying to make their way through. And this time, Diesel not messing around as he's going to try to outbrake him through the weight transfer portion of the course. Left, right, left, back, right again, and Ferris is going to hold on for this time, but Diesel Snyder all over him as we got 2 more together coming off the sharp right-hand corner.
That's Turner and Lytle. We focus here on our leaders. Diesel looking around, going to look low here down the backstretch, heading into that hairpin corner. Took the opportunity to run a couple laps on this course. It is a hard braking zone through there. And as they make it past the stopped car of Michael Turner, new race leader Diesel Snyder.
So Snyder has got the lead. Ferris is second. Hauk looking to the inside. He's trying to take that position away from him. They carry a lot of speed through the 4th and 3rd corner of our 3/8 mile on this long straightaway before they got to slow her way down, make the turn here, and we're going to see the caution lights blink on once again.
Caution going to fly for Turner and for Graham. See the 022 still stopped there. Take a look at the replay from Damon Claiborne. Yeah, just a little bit of contact coming into the hairpin. Claiborne also getting up into Matt Snyder.
Manages to drive away. Here's a look from the inside of the Lytle cockpit. Around the corner, and absolutely nowhere to go as, unfortunately, Dempsey's just sitting there to meet him coming off the turn, and things happen quickly in the car, as you can attest.
Yeah, sometimes things just kind of fall. The dominoes hit the deck, and you're left to pick up the pieces and set up the next game.
So here we go. Field double file once again, 4 laps in. And 26 to go. Speedway Chevrolet pace car off once again. Snyder and Ferris from the front row, and everybody 2 by 2 in behind them as we go back to green flag action.
Look at that jump Diesel got. Already sole control of the lead. Hauk and Ferris battling it out for that 2nd place spot, while McNamara and Matt Snyder behind them. 717 machine going to lead him here into the hairpin. Look how loose Brad Ferris got. The braking area of what is typically turn 2 coming into that teardrop hairpin.
He had a whole lot of speed coming into the corner and tried to turn sharply down the hill so he could try to make the hairpin, and unfortunately the rest of the race car didn't match up with the way he was trying to steer her through. Got a little bit wiggly, hold on to it though, and held most of his position as you're watching the one of Zach Bristol starting to make his way through, and he's bringing Gino Solomon's 17 car in with him.
Yeah, Bristol involved in an incident we saw just 1 lap into this one on the restart. Unfortunately, some contact. And speaking of contact, around goes the 17S. Gino Solomon, Brian McNamara hooked together, it seems, trying to get themselves unstuck from one another. Smoke just really coming off of those spinning tires of Gino Solomon.
Oh, boy.
There they go.
Not fun for either of them as the whole field almost going to catch him, including Gino's grandson, Diesel Snyder, who's going to loop up close to him awfully quick. Solomon's going to need a yellow and hopefully get this field bunched back up if he's going to try to make a charge through it. As there is Ferris and Matt Snyder in the 15. That is Diesel's dad, and that is the battle for 3rd down the back straightaway.
Both of them got something else to worry about as Matt goes to the inside. A little bit of contact between him and Ferris. Ferris goes up the track. See the one waiting in the wings. Zach Bristol, Lucas Hausenfluck joining the fray as well. It's the battle for 3rd. When they cross the line, it will be Matt Snyder in control of the position. Some fast cars coming up behind him, though.
Physical racing here early, and typically I don't remember the reverse boot being this, or sorry, not the reverse road course being this physical, as we're going to go 3 wide as Bobby Hauk way up and around the outside, or sorry, Lucas Hausenfluck, that is, and slide him on back as Bristol going to make the move and get past Ferris.
Yeah, Bristol continuing to pilot this one car. Has had a very good season so far. Enters the night with quite a big points lead. Could finish it with a near clinch scenario heading into the final 2 races of the Hornet season.
Just a couple more nights left to go as Bristol looking to go back to back. And you can see him running down Matt Snyder up ahead of him. So top 3 in range for Zach Bristol. Into the corner, a little smoke showing, and he's going to loop it into the middle, at least at corner entrance, and dive down low on Matt coming through the apex of 3 and 4.
Down the backstretch of the 3/8 oval, see, keeps that low side. Not having that straight line speed he's had in the past, though. Drifts up the track, possible crossover opportunity, shut the door before Matt could get to him. He will go up into 3rd as they put a lap on Guevara.
So now coming up, Bristol up into your top three. He's got to run down Hauk and hopefully keep Snyder within his striking distance. We're going to go in cockpit. Big thank you to the Brandy Hood Promotions team with the GoPro footage. It's Bobby Hauk trying to run down Diesel Snyder, and Zach Bristol trying to catch him from behind on the left-hand side of the screen as you get two different angles to watch Home Track Heroes with.
You see Hauk's got some traffic in front of him, separating him from just at the edge of your screen. You can barely see him in some of the corners. Diesel Snyder. And on the left side, here comes Zach Bristol in the number 1. Points leader, defending champion. It's a long resume trying to prove just how good he is behind the wheel of one of these Hornet cars. Right there at the back bumper of Bobby Hauk. Matt Snyder coming with him. Close behind in the number 15.
Not a whole lot left to prove for this point in Bristol. I mean, if it's small four-cylinder racing here at Evergreen Speedway, he has accomplished nearly everything, right?
That's fair enough to say. I know Bristol's talked about maybe going mini stock racing next year, as we've seen that green and yellow machine in times past. Hopeful to see it once again, and he's real excited to continue title defense. Here he is, side by side with Hauk. See him poke ahead on the right side of your screen, the in-car camera, and how high Bristol goes up into the entry of the corner. Matt Snyder just follows him right on by.
Shoots through with a ton of momentum and stretches that advantage quickly, as it is now Bristol into second and Matt Snyder into third, all in pursuit of Diesel Snyder, as we are now halfway through this main event. 15 in the books, 15 remaining on the ledger, and Diesel Snyder just entering turn number 1, with Zach Bristol a long ways behind him, but looking to catch up.
And from Bobby Hauk's view, you can see just how fast the 15 and the 1 are. Here comes Lucas Hausenfluck. Lucas entered last weekend. His car was 3rd place in points. Let his dad behind the wheel to substitute in, and Ryan rewarded him with not making the A main event.
Oops. That'll happen.
Sometimes it does. As just having a little fun with Mr. House, if he's listening.
So taking a look, and there is Diesel Snyder a long ways in front, and not quite half a track, but I'd say quarter of a track advantage, as he's going to clip off the 13 to go marker right there, and then just kind of count in your head how far back it takes before Bristol and Snyder get there, and it's right about now-ish that they clip through. So Diesel Snyder on a rampage and looking awfully good. He's found the exact entry point that he was looking for into the hairpin portion of the course. Big hooky right, softly back to the left, and then on the gas again as he pushes through on the right-hand side. And nowhere is second and third to be seen, as Snyder in full control here in his breakout season in the EPR CBD Hornets.
Yeah, Diesel Snyder in that 717, graduate of the Youth Hornet class. Quietly had a pretty good season last year, but this one has been completely different. With that win, most notably on the Raptor Claw. We saw earlier in the year that course that some refer to as the dinosaur embryo, others refer to as the rubber duck. Regardless, he was the winner. That you cannot deny. He's now going to the outside of Donna Gillespie.
And really things have just steamrolled for him since, as after that win, he has been the man to beat on most nights, up and around the podium and hunting for more trophies, as Diesel Snyder continues to dominate this race. We will have the remainder of the PRCBD Hornet main event coming up after this commercial break. Stay tuned. You guys are all watching Home Track Heroes here on a Sunday night on Seattle 11. Back to action here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Our program brought to you by Gene Johnson. Plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical, as we just have a handful of laps left here in the PRCBD Hornet main event. 5 to go. Diesel Snyder trying to continue his dominant run here over Zach Bristol and Matt Snyder. You do not see Zach particularly close to Diesel, at least right now, and there's the in-car from Snyder as he looks to finish this thing off.
Another cool thing you get to see from the in-car is just how much these cars lean through the corners. Suspension, given that, surface. I'm great with words, The suspension given some room and letting the car lean down.
Sure, yeah.
Just how sideways to the the ground you are,
Yeah,
really.
how far they're compressing and rebounding on the springs, shocks, struts, etc., whatever this car is set up with, and it's distinct from that in-car camera for sure. We got to thank PRCBD, the Hornet class sponsor. Swing by PRCBD in Arlington for all your CBD questions or needs for people, pets, and more. Go to prcbd.com and use the promo code RACE.
Left side of your screen, you see the battle between Matt Snyder, Lucas Hausenfluck, and Dan Miller. All three of them, all pretty high in the point standings. The number 15 machine holding on to that final podium spot. Lucas there on the top side. Dan Miller running the low in the silver and red 00. It's Joseph Villarreal lapped car. Playing a little bit of a pick here for the number 15 perhaps. So he's going to go out right in front of the 03 and also block off a little bit of Dan Miller's line. For now, Matt Snyder holds on. 2 to go.
Yep, and Miller did a good job sneaking past Villarreal where he could and kind of pinning Hausenfluck down and in behind him. As this one's going to be over, and it is going to be over real soon. In fact, there's your white flag one more time around as Diesel Snyder looking to continue his string of great runs here in the Hornet class. He has got this one well sewn up so long as nothing mechanically goes foul for him as he rolls into the hairpin for one more time. Diesel Snyder in and through, one more left-hand corner, and there is your feature winner. Snyder gets the W. Wait for a couple of seconds, and you will see the one of Zach Bristol. There he goes. And this is for third, and this is how far back that went, as Matt Snyder's going to be just in front of the frame. There he goes. He'll take it with the rest of the field tagging in behind him. So, entertaining Hornet Main. We got a lot more to come for you, including Tire Pro Street Stocks, which are due up in a bit. But first, we got to talk to your top three, and we will head down to the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort Podium. Talk to Diesel Snyder, Zach Bristol, and Matt Snyder.
You ran a hard race there, had a great battle near the end between you, Lucas, and Dan. Walk us through those final few laps.
Oh, I would have done whatever I could to not let them by me. So, but all in all, it was a pretty good race.
You guys put on a good show, coming home third, but the race winner, your son, that's got to feel pretty good.
Oh yeah, this is the first time I've ever been on the podium with him, so this is awesome.
And who would you like to thank? Who would you like to thank tonight for taking it home third?
Valley Asphalt, Handy in the Valley, Falls Compounding Pharmacy, Hair Inc., Snow Falls Credit Union, North Bend Chevrolet, Snoqualmie Valley Bus Drivers, and SC.
Driver the number 15, Matt Snyder, third place tonight. Zach, you're a very experienced driver out there. Weaving your way through traffic, how difficult is that when you're in a Hornet?
I'm going to bite my tongue on that one because that was an S show. I'm sorry. Hopefully the Hornet guys got it out of their system, but I thought it was going to be okay, and then someone brake checked or something went up front and piloted in. I would have pulled off, but we're trying to get the national championship out here for Monroe Evergreen, bring it home. But after that, it's just kind of wait, pick your spots. There was nothing left on that front end, so it's like, come on, just hold together, and thankfully it did.
And who would you like to thank for getting that one car out here?
Tom and Candy Hibbs, they're the car owners. They let me run that rocket ship of a car. Hopefully we can straighten out we got to run again tomorrow night. Hibbs Automotive, Gourmet Latte, Townsend Peterson LLC, Bennett Design Construction, GN Northwest, the Hornet Nest boys back there. They're helping me as much as they can. And my beautiful girlfriend, Sarah. There's no Jenny tonight. Beaners is free as always. And thank you, fans, for coming out. Hopefully put on a good show, and hopefully you can come back out tomorrow and watch us do it all over again.
Second place tonight, Zach Bristol in the number 1. I've heard a lot of talk about what the hardest courses here at Evergreen Speedway are. One of them was certainly the Talon, which you took quickly. Now you come here onto the reverse road course, another difficult one, you take another win. How does that feel?
It feels really good. I don't know how, but I got out front fast and I stayed out front.
I know sharing the podium's got to feel pretty awesome as well. Up here with your dad, he finished third, you take the win. You doing good?
Yeah, he's still kind of slow if you ask me.
Who helped you get that number 717 here to Victory Lane?
Oh, I gotta thank Valley Asphalt, Handy in the Valley, Falls Compound Pharmacy, Hair Inc., Snow Falls Credit Union, North Bend Chevrolet, Bus Drivers, SC, my dad, my mom, and Brandy Head Promotions.
Driver the number 717, Diesel Snyder, race winner tonight.
Back inside the broadcast booth, I'm Caleb Hardy as Derek Todoroff. The always entertaining Tire Pros Street Stocks getting ready to roll onto the track. What a year it's been for them, as per usual, great racing, a little bit of drama, tight points battles, and you name it. We have got 30 around the 3/8 mile coming up here on Home Track Heroes, and your field looks like this. It's Kenny Erickson on pole. He's out of Tulalip. Central Welding sponsors the 22 car. And Chase Jones going to be next to him out of Duval. The Whisper Cool sponsored number 14.
Jason at Stingray Auto Repair of Redmond on board the 03 of Blaine Fagerly. He's also out of Redmond. Racing Royalty, the Harding Motorsports 39 out of Langley, British Columbia. That's Stuart Harding.
Third row's Mike Shimmick, the 7 car out of Renton, sponsored by Big Block Brewing. And the 69 car is Austin Camp out of Monroe, sponsored by Milberg.
Top 2 in points are row number 4, the Lang Autosports 06 out of Bothell, Steve Potasic. Alongside the Tire Pros, the Shop of Arlington, number 3, out of Snohomish is Jesse Jensen.
Row number 5 is the 44 of Andrew Rivas, sponsored by O'Reilly's in Monroe. And Jerry Helm next to him in the 27 out of Green Bank, sponsored by Tiger Construction.
Ad Taxi aboard the 96 of Tyler Hill, he's out of Lake Stevens. And Trademark RCS aboard the veteran Jim Fodes, number 85.
Brian Thornborough on the final row by himself out of Arlington, the Omni Contracting Solutions, number 72. So, field formed up and ready to go, as we've got 13 of them. 430 times around. That 4th row is where all the fireworks have been, not just as far as guys getting to victory lane, but as far as the points go. And yeah, it's been a something with Potasic and Jensen this year. We'll watch them along with everybody else as they come off the corner to green here on the Street Stock Main.
Ooh, bit of a stack up there as they take the green flag. Erickson and Jones going to get away quite well. Is up the inside, through the middle the 3 tried to go, splitting the 69 and the 06. But for now, Erickson in control, Jones, Fagerly, your top 3, doubling up after them.
Chase Jones has been through about, 7 left front fenders in his last 4 races or so. Now kind of going with more of an open wheel style look in the 2nd spot. Fagerly sits 3rd in the 03, and it's Potasic so far winning the war of that 4th row, and coming forward he has worked to the inside on Harding, battling for 4th. Harding trying to get around the outside of Fagerly though, and to keep that 06 pinned in that back position.
That's a hard place to be. Evergreen Speedway has some benefits to the high line. That low side still oftentimes a superior route around this track. Potasic though not letting go in the 06. Entered this race 8 points behind Jesse Jensen, trying to make that gap as small as he can and perhaps swing the other direction.
Right now he has got 2 positions ahead of Jensen, as Jensen is tucked right in behind Shimmick, battling for position. And right now it's Potasic who's kind of boxed in, although he'll get the advantage, and that's big right there. Harding jumping out of the outside groove opens the outside lane, and Jensen has swung to the outside lane. Let's see if Jesse can make some progress. That's also going to give Potasic room to drive that car a little bit higher on the racetrack coming out of the corner.
More than once we've seen the middle groove work better for Jesse Jensen than anybody else. He's going to make the move to the low side, get right on by the 39 of Stuart Harding, setting his sights now on that 4th place driver, Blaine Fagerly, and the 06. I would argue his rival at this point in the season, Steve Potasic.
Yeah, Potasic is right there with Jesse. It has been punch, counter punch as far as those 2 drivers go over the course of the season. Potasic's making the middle work. He's gotten around Jones for 2nd, and now trying to chase down Erickson for the lead, as Jensen trying to work the middle to make his way around Jones. Meanwhile, bid for the lead as you've got battles on multiple screens. Potasic will take over the top spot 7 laps into this, and Jensen might just be a corner or 2 away from being in the runner-up position to pursue him.
It's a hard, hard place to be in that middle groove, grounding that car to the first dashed line you see there in 1, 2, 3, and 4. As Jesse staying there. Real impressive. Would have thought he would have tried to line up a shot for a pass on the inside down the backstretch. Instead, goes with this middle groove once again. And out of turn number 4, he's going to get by Erickson, meaning he is chasing Steve Potasic.
So slight benefit to Jensen is how low Erickson and Jones were keeping their cars on the racetrack, as they were almost below white line status, which let Jensen be half a groove lower in the middle. Made it a little bit easier on him to keep his momentum up and make the pass. Now we'll see if he can run down Steve Potasic, and that has been the battle all year amongst your front runners here at Evergreen Speedway. We're watching Mike Shimmick 7 and Stuart Harding's 39. Good battle between them as they're door panel to door panel. That race in and about 6th place at the moment. Yeah, 6th and 7th we're going after it.
That 7 car has made it to the top spot in the championship points twice before here in the street stock class. Trying to fight with the number 39, as I mentioned. Racing Royalty Grandpa, winner of the first ever Summer Showdown out here at Evergreen Speedway, behind the wheel of his own number 39.
Referring on Shimmick's point of view, that is the former Ted Lindgren car, correct? Two-time champion. And the 39, for those of us not, is, well, Pete Harding that you were talking about. Pete and Shane, the legendary Harding family.
Yes. Stuart's been nice enough to come on down from Canada, visit us here for our street stock races in the recent times. Been real cool to watch how that iconic yellow number 39 handles in the next generation.
It's nice, too, to see. Canada, especially on the paved circuit side, is really on a regrowth stage up in British Columbia right now. Some tracks coming back into vogue and into existence, and a lot more drivers picking up cars as you see Ericsson laying the little bump to Chase Jones, try to get by him. Jones holds him off for the spot. Now we got some physicality between Harding and Fagerly in the spot behind him. That is for 5th. As down on the bottom, make it 4th and 5th. On the low side, Harding passing Fagerly. He's got the nose, but Blaine working hard on the outside groove, is swapping a little yellow and black paint between the two of them, and it's been a fun battle to watch them.
The run really comes for that higher lane on the exit of these corners. If you can keep the car there through the entry and through the apex, you'll get the run you need to try and make a pass on the straights.
We'll watch this battle continue when we come back from this commercial break. The Tire Pros Street Stocks on the track with more of their main event coming up next on Home Track Heroes. We're back here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11, and just a few laps left to go here in the Tire Pros Street Stock main event. Our program brought to you by Gene Johnson, Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Mechanical. 4 to go, Derek Todoroff, as Jesse Jensen drawing a bead on the 06 of Steve Potasic.
Yeah, the silver and red trying to catch the Neon Dream Machine. As the 06 just holding that low line, getting by Andrew Rivas, the lapped car. We'll see if they catch Shimmick and Hill, who are the next two who would go down a lap before the race is up, but time running low for the 3.
2 to go as we tell you Tire Pros, the official tire dealer of Evergreen Speedway. Tire Pros, your one-stop tire retailer where honesty is the best policy and they have a hassle-free guarantee. Tire Pros has all the national brands and offers a nationwide warranty on your tires. Go to TirePros.com. Steve Potasic, yeah, he's got the lead. He could get the win, but he's hoping that 3 would be further back than what he is as they roll down the back straightaway for the final time.
Could cut this to 6 points, the deficit to that 3. And out of turn number 4, that's exactly what Steve Potasic is gonna do. Holds off Jesse Jensen and takes home the win. Your Tire Pros Street Stock main event. Jesse Jensen in 2nd. Here's the battle for 3rd. Out of the corner, Fagerly gonna try and get a run. Not gonna come together. Chase Jones rounds off your podium.
Good for Chase. A lot of adversity that he's overcome here in the recent ones to get that podium finish. Let's go talk to your top 3 on the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium.
Chase, walk me through your contact incident in the heat race, putting the car back together, and now getting up on the podium.
I'm so glad for everyone in the pits that came in and rallied and helped fix my car. Oh man, I couldn't ask for a better crew, friends, everyone that supports me, and I'm just happy to be out here.
Yeah, you had to defend a lot, cars charging behind. What'd you have to do to block and get home 3rd?
I'll just hold the inside line. It was really hard. I was pushing. Tires were hot and greasy, but I made do.
And who do you want to thank for helping you get out here?
Yeah, PhysioCare Physical Therapy of Duval and Whisper Cool.
Let's give it up. 3rd place tonight, Chase Jones. Jesse, you also had to come back after eating some grass. Whoa! You also had, after eating some grass earlier, how's the car feeling running down the 06?
It was fine. Just got dirty, a little cosmetic damage, but no issues there. It was a fun race. Steve's car's fast, our car's fast, and I told him, Steve that is, at the beginning of the year, I said, before you know it, it's just going to be about who gets to the front first, and sure enough, that's what it came down to. He did a great job. He didn't really put a wheel wrong. I was trying to reel him in little by little, but reeling him in and getting past him's one and another anyway, so it was fun.
And who do you want to thank for helping you get out here?
Tire Pros, Arlington, of course, Fast Eddie's in Everett, awesome supporters of ours. The whole Payton family, Dave Payton, especially for building us a badass motor. It's so fun to drive. My car owners, Dirk and Chris and Cruiswick, my awesome wife for supporting me while I come out here and have fun. Lindsay, I love you. Just everybody that helps out on this car. The Manabusins, it's another great family that supports us. Randall, Jeff, and of course Rob, the crew chief, who's the one that puts countless hours into this thing to make sure it stays fast. He's the man.
Let's give it up. Second place tonight, driver of the 3, Jesse Jensen. All right, Steve, you had to hold off a hard-charging 3 car for about 10 laps there. Walk me through playing defense.
Well, you know, I can't really worry about what's behind me, even though I kind of was at points. I could see him, and I was getting so tired. I just had to kind of give it a little more throttle. I literally was just getting so tired out there. And if I just held the bottom, there's not much he really can do unless he can root me out. But by then I guess I don't deserve to be there.
6 points will separate the two of you going into championship night. Just talk about that type of close battle.
We're both going to show up with our best piece, and not much you can do. You just kind of hope, for me at least, something happens that I can gain some points. Otherwise, Jesse deserves to win.
And who do you want to thank for helping you get out here?
Lang Autosports. If you need a car, go buy one.
Let's give it up. Race winner, the 06, Steve Potasic.
Well, street stock's always fun. You never say that they're a boring situation going on out there. Congratulations, Steve Potasic, on taking that victory. Let's move forward. We have got BECU mini stocks on the agenda for 30 around the 3/8 mile. On the pole, what doesn't look like the 81 car, but will score it as the 81, the Tire Pros of Arlington car of Bobby Fisher. And next to him, Gavin Ballou, the Absher Build LLC number 12 out of Marysville.
Tire Pros of Arlington also aboard the 18J. The Snohomish native Jackson Beckel, last year's Stinger 8 champion, lines up in third alongside the Full Throttle Graphics number 4 out of Granite Falls of Cole Raritan.
The third row is Jimmy Absher, the 26 out of Marysville, sponsored by NPM Welding and Fabrication. Next to him, Ryan House and Fluck out of Lake Stevens. The 33 is sponsored by Edwards K&S Construction.
Strideline Socks number 18 out of Snohomish, Paisley Bender, alongside the Tom's Automotive number 24 out of Briar, Washington of Jalen Vick.
The fifth row is Austin Kramer in the 14 car. He's from Snohomish, sponsored by Northwest Security and Sound. Outside of him, Randy Dittmars out of Snohomish, the ATR Andrews Truck Repair number 61.
Field rounded out by the Brava Pizza in Snohomish number 16 out of Lake Stevens. That's Travis Woodward.
So we've got 11 going around for 30 times around. Decent little points battle in this division as well for the mini stocks, as they're down to just a handful of races left in the year. Fisher, got to be saying a big old thank you to the Misfit Motorsports crew, and the Bjornsons in particular is, well, that looks a lot like a Bjornson car that he's driving into the bottom of turn number 1 for the lead as they work their way through the first and second corners.
Yeah, immediately see him jump to the lead, and just as fast, the 18J goes straight up into second. Here comes Jimmy Absher contending for third alongside Gavin Ballou. Oh, gets real loose, almost down into the dirt. Barely held on, as Cole Raritan might try and capitalize with that.
Yeah, keep your eyes. Absher is always as fun of a barrel of monkeys rolling around out there, is fast but unpredictable. It's a good way to put the 26 car.
Great way to put it.
As they roll their way into 3. You look coming off the corner, Fisher under really heavy pressure from Jackson Beckel, the 2 debutantes this year here in the mini stock division who have been in front nearly the whole season, and the 8-1 and the 1-8 can't say enough for their rookie campaigns in this class.
And neither one of them an oval racer, as Bobby comes from the Hornet class in that road racing style, while Jackson coming out from the Stinger 8 class. He's poking the nose right there to the inside, unable to get by Bobby Fisher that time, but through the corner, back there to the low side, falls back once again. Fisher holding the line as the battle for third, heating up at the edge of your screen as well. Oh, maybe not. Jimmy Absher slides up the track and slows. He looks like he's coming back to speed.
Picks back up the pace. Yeah, we'll see if he may be able to stick with that front group. As down to the inside, Beckel with another nose. Looking underneath the 81 of Fisher. Fisher leaving the door open just enough, but Beckel has been unable to really stuff it through there to get there. Meanwhile, here's Cole Raritan back end sliding out on him, but trying that middle to upper groove to get by, and a good run for Gavin Ballou also involved in the mix.
Raritan's number 4, its second appearance here at Evergreen Speedway, was out here earlier, subbing in for Gavin Ballou following Ballou's crash early in the season. I think the bug bit him once again. He told me that go-karting, Mother Nature had other plans, so put it all in into a mini stock, and he is thrilled to be back in that number 4.
Took him a little work to get that car together, a last-minute thrash before it came out the last time we saw it, as Beckel finally gets enough of the nose to the inside of Fisher. Fisher moving up a lane. Now the question is, can Ballou follow him by, or can Fisher get back down? Ballou not able to get there off the bottom of 2. Fisher has a chance to protect second place here as they get into the corners.
Well, Raritan coming quick here in the middle groove. We talked about in the street stock race, Jesse Jensen's attempt on that line. That number 4 is finding some speed. He's battling neck and neck with Gavin Ballou out of turn number 4. Jackson Beckel going to try and form a gap while he can, as Raritan gets past the 12. And oh, 2 cars hooked together. That's Austin Kramer and Paisley Bender.
Oh, those 2 hooked up in the corner and to a stop, neither of them rolling, as our Seattle 11 camera crew will show us exactly how it went down. Here is from Kramer's in-car camera, and you can already see at some point in time the back of Kramer's car looks like it was stepping out and around him.
Yeah, unfortunate for the number 14 and the number 18. Hope that they can both get refired, as yep, just hooked it right together between the 2 of them.
So we will go double style here on your restarts for the BECU mini stocks. Jackson Beckel had just made the pass on Bobby Fisher, so Fisher going to get a chance to get him right back coming up here on this restart. It is the 18 low and the 81 high. Cole Raritan in the 4 down on the bottom. Gavin Ballou in the 12 car up in the upper groove. Those have been your 4 that have been battling it out front. And don't blink, Travis Woodward sneaky has passed half the field up into 6th.
Austin Kramer going to return the number 14 as we are under green. Jackson gets a good jump, clears the 81. Raritan does the same to Ballou, as Vic also getting by the number 12. Now your top 3 going to get right under a blanket almost immediately. Jackson's 18J running that low side, gravitating back towards the wall on the straights. Raritan looked low, not going to take the opportunity this time against Bobby Fisher.
Let's say this for Raritan. We've only seen him in a handful of appearances in my time here doing Home Track Heroes, but the guy just knows how to get a race car around. He knows how to be fast in these 4-cylinders. Similar to Zach Bristol. Throw him in a 4-cylinder, he's going to find a way to get her through quick, right?
That indeed. We're riding along Travis Woodward on the right side of your screen. Number 16 chasing down Vic and Ballou, but on the left side, Raritan gunning for second on the low side versus Bobby Fisher, and out of the corner he will clear. Cole Raritan can set his sights on Jackson Beckel.
So see if Raritan can run him down. Still a lot of race to go, so we're only 11 of 30 into this. From the back screen you can watch Ballou and Vic side by side, and Woodward trying to come up with a plan of attack to take 1, maybe 2 of them if he gets the opportunity to.
It was the runner-up last year in the point standings. Enters tonight 3rd in those same BCU mini stock point standings, trying to find his way past Vic and by Ballou.
Vic has really taken to the Kelly family 24 car quite nicely after picking up that ride mid-season. His brother, a former mini stock track champion, and he's spent most of the last couple of years out with our drift crew and our Grassroots Motorsports drifting bunch. Kind of different, trying to keep the rubber underneath you and not smoking it off in every corner that you go through, but he's done a pretty good job picking that car up and adding some speed to it.
He certainly seems to be having a good time behind the wheel of number 24. That's always what you want to see at the end of the day.
Big shout out to him. His dad, John Vick, a big supporter of Evergreen Speedway and a variety of different functions outside of just being a relatively positive dude. So shout out to the Vicks. Nice to have him back out here doing circle track stuff. As Woodward going to get by Jalen for the 5th spot and see if he can do something with Ballou up and ahead of him.
Yeah, we continue to ride along with the number 16. Woodward is a really patient driver. It's been really cool to get to know him over these past few years. That driver, the number 16, one of the nicest guys you can find in the pit. Just a very, very patient driver when it comes to sticking behind the wheel.
He's been hamstrung this year as that car is normally starting towards the back of the field, and one of the other fast guys in this division is loaded with fast guys, gets a, I don't know, up front starting spot. Woodward's been tasked with trying to run him down all season long, and part of the reason that you haven't seen him take the big trophy as often as he would have liked to, as it is Raritan now up on the back of Jackson Beckel. Beckel 1, Raritan 2 as this battle for the lead getting intense.
Yeah, Cole looked low. Jackson throwing a solid block there. Not cutting across the nose or anything, just taking the line away. The 4 now up to high. He's been just trying to find any way past the 18J, whether it be low, high, corner, or straight. He's going to go into the dirt through 2 that time.
You talked a little bit about Beckel coming from the figure 8 world. Boy, he's got some really good circle trackers, though, in his corner on that race car. You talk about how fast the JBR 4-cylinders have been over the years. They certainly know how to drive a defensive line, and I'm sure that John in his ear at the moment saying, all right, here's how you defend this line with Raritan coming up on you.
Yeah, it's a complicated sort of thing. Is 18J holding on. You saw the block there, kind of forced the 4 a little bit low. That's racing.
Well, you look at it too, Beckel with the figure 8 experience, you don't give ground anywhere. You don't cede it as they're coming up to put a lap on Bobby Fischer, so Fischer fell off the pace somewhere in the last lap or so and has now gone a full lap down. And this is letting Raritan slingshot to the outside on Beckel, getting into 1 and 2. He's going to try to diamond that corner, but gets too loose on him and couldn't quite poke the nose underneath.
Now he goes back up to the top to try it again. How loose that car is certainly interesting to see what it can do. Off of this one coming to the line. Raritan might have it by a nose. I'm not sure. Scoring says he does.
Wow, so Cole Raritan led that last lap, having to fight down the back straightaway. You can see he's got the speed, but can the car handle in the center of the corner to keep it?
Oh.
Here comes Beckel off the corner. They'll bang doors down the front straightaway. Fischer's car is a lap behind them, but he's getting a great viewpoint on this new battle for the lead.
Shades of Craven and Kurt there off of 4 that time. Is the 18J going to keep it here? The low side that seems to work so well for him previously. It's Cole Raritan trying to run the top in his second time back in his own car.
Lets off a little bit at corner entrance going into 1, trying to find a smoother line around. That allows Beckel to get even further back in this battle. More straightaway speed out of Raritan, more speed into 3, but coming off the corner, down to 5 to go. Raritan's going to close down on the line and have it.
Might have traffic play a role here. Dittmer's in the 61, going to force him to split. No, Jackson into the dirt. That might be it. He's fallen back there. So he just went into the dirt. Is the 81 slow?
Again, Bobby Fischer, fast then not fast. It's sporadic on the 81. As Raritan now pulling away from Beckel with 4 left as they'll put the lap on Kramer. Way to go, Cole Raritan.
You know, of note, Raritan getting to the lead, but also Gavin Ballou running in 3rd right now since the 81 fell back. Woodward the card behind him, and then Vic in the number 24.
So not a whole lot of time left. Raritan, that car just the right amount of loose. He is fast, fast, fast though. Got to hang on to her and not make the big mistake here over the final 2 laps if he wants to bring home this feature win. Cole Raritan down to 2 to go as that race car, fast but tricky. We'll see if he can hang on to her for another lap and a half.
Jackson going to try to reel him in, but we jump back to the battle for 3rd, final podium spot. 16 looking high, looking to the lead. White flag in the air. Next time by, they'll see the checkered. And here goes Woodward to the inside for 3rd.
Woodward, good timing on that move. Had the lane on Ballou. Slides underneath him, powers forward, and he will take over the 3rd spot on the final lap. But congratulations, Cole Raritan. Going to pick up the victory. Checkered flag for him. Jackson Beckel, another strong 2nd place finish. Travis Woodward's 3rd. We'll come back from our break and talk to him in Victory Lane as you are watching Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11.
Travis, you had to work your way through the field, made the pass in the last couple of laps to get up on the podium. How does that feel?
Feels great after the day we've had. We've had issues all day. That's why we started in the back. It started missing really bad, and about 10 laps ago, it kicked in.
And who do you want to thank for helping you get out here?
Oh, I got to thank Jim Heller, Terry, Kevin, my wife, my son, all my sponsors, Bravo Pizza, Simon & Son Towing, Dick's Tire House, RBD Fabrication, and SRP Transportation. It's been a day.
Let's give it up, though. 3rd place, Travis Woodward. Jackson, second place tonight. One more race to try to defend your points lead. What's going through your head? Get up on the podium again.
You know, I'd love to be on the podium again, but if I can just finish the next race, I don't know, I think I'd lock it in.
You were running up front for most of the night. The 4 did get around you. What did you need, do you think, to get back to Cole?
You know, I got blocked for, what was it, 8 laps, and then it was, Cole reeled me in, and then, I don't know, I had nothing for Cole. He was fast tonight.
And who do you want to thank for helping you get out here?
PRCBD, Tire Pros Arlington, John, Dave, Hottie Hair Lounge, Streamline, the track, all you guys for being here, and just everyone that helped me on the car.
Let's give it up. Second place, Jackson Beckel. You're good. At one point, we saw you subbing in a lot for the 12 car while Gavin was hurt. Now you throw your own car together, and within a couple races, is up on the top side of the podium. Just walk me through that.
Well, I mean, it's the third one I built. Mine, Jimmy, and Bobby's are all relatively the same cars. Yes, driving Gavin's car gave me the edge, and not me, it's a team thing. You know, Bobby Fisher, Trent, Royce, Kelly, Brian Spiker, my girlfriend Jenny, my dad. I mean, there's so many people to thank and that helped me get here. I did not do it by myself.
And you had to work to get around the 18J, but once you got past, you did not look back. What's the secret to get around?
I'm a good setup in the car and pick the spot to try and get around him. He's a great driver, and he's a defensive driver, and I respect that, and went around him clean.
And who do you want to thank for helping you get out here tonight?
J2 Racing, Full Throttle Graphics, TransLab, and then my team, Raritan Racing. I can't thank them enough. And thanks for all the fans out here. Oh yeah, Lucas, my daughter's boyfriend, my daughter Clea. There's a ton of people. I'm probably forgetting somebody. Oh, Beast Fab and Tuning. There he is. He's out here tuning the cars. Thank you, Brian. If I would have forgot him, he might have come back.
Let's give it up. Race winner, Cole Raritan.
Well, Derek, excited for Cole Raritan. That's an awfully cool win for him, just a second week back, and way to go for him, one of the good guys in the sport.
Oh, yeah. It was really awesome to get to talk to him in the pits and just hear that story.
Those were the BECU mini stocks. BECU, Boeing Employee Credit Union. They believe in people over profit. BECU, altogether different, a proud sponsor of the mini stock class. Out on the racetrack with the Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8s, Jeff Talbert's on the pole. It is the Pilchuck Heating 72 out of Arlington. Guy Litz next to him out of Bothell. The Protocol Plumbing and Sewer number 88.
The Kent Collision Center number 98 out of Tacoma is Aaron Flett next to the Siskiyou Power Equipment 43 out of Darrington of Sheridan Vincent.
Third row is Chevy Vincent out of Darrington. Homegrown Hair Studio sponsors the 45 and the BECU number 67 of Mackenzie Dietz out of Monroe.
The Mary's Towing number 5 out of Aberdeen. That's Quentin Borson. He's alongside the Be Happy Carpet Cleaning 68 of Blaine Manning from Marysville.
Fifth row, Rick Yargis, the 17X out of Stanwood. McCarthy General Contractor sponsors him. And Robert Weldon, the 63 out of Arlington, sponsored by All Ply Roofing, LLC.
Out of Duval, Bill Fleischacker drives the number 36, sponsored by Papa's Barn Monroe. The Marysville native Jessica Wilkinson in the JE55, sponsored by Pilchuck Heating and Air Conditioning.
The seventh row is Chris Salderd, the 76S out of Everett, All Solved Plumbing. And next to him, Keith Taylor out of Bonnie Lake, Black Thunder Transport on the 52 car.
Sultan native Tasha Dunn, the 369, sponsored by Painted Raven Farm. And Bruce Wilson and Kent drive the number 95.
Back row, the Grizz, Doug Delfell out of Everett, sponsored by Mazda of Everett, the 01, and the 8 of Dakota Wilkinson. It is a full field, 9 rows, 18 cars, 30 times around, Figure 8 Mania, sponsored by Seattle 11. We're going to make it 40. Why not? Give him 10 bonus laps as Litz out to the early lead.
Litz going to take that right away. You might notice that 43 car looking a bit different, most notably the Giant 66 on the side. That is Rick Jones's car. Sheridan hopping behind the wheel as he's involved in this very tight points battle between him, Mackenzie Dietz, and your leader right now, the 5, the 7-time Stock Figure 8 champion, Quentin Borson.
Well, big thank you then to Rick Jones from the Vincent family for helping him get out there. And on the track is action all over the place, side by side. A little bit deeper in the field right ahead of Boris, and it's the 68 of Manning going tooth and nail with Chevy Vincent, the 45. They're about 6 cars deep in the line there. That means Borison has not advanced particularly far yet.
See Tasha Dunn there in the infield. No, Borison has not. It's, whoa, Manning gets loose, going to force him to check up a little bit. But that's the hard part of figure 8 racing. But when you got 40 laps, take it slow, make some time.
And that's one of the things that Borison does really well as opposed to everybody else. Yeah, he's up there thrashing early, but very rarely do you see him caught up in the big one, and then as the field begins to uncork the slinky or unwind the accordion, if you prefer it that way, he is extremely well about getting cars one-on-one and then picking them off when that happens.
Experience, the real secret to the number 5 success. See Dakota Wilkinson and the captain of Chaos's car stopped there at the intersection, waiting for everyone to get on by.
Been a hot minute since Wilkinson was in a stock figure 8, yeah?
Dakota has never driven one before.
Okay, so maiden voyage for him driving the Captain Chaos mobile, which is hanging out, watching a good race.
Oh, yeah.
So we're watching Borison in the 5 try to get around Manning in the 68. Our program this afternoon / this evening brought to you by Gene Johnson, Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, and that might be the opportunity Quentin needs. Manning sails it long out and around, and Borison +1 spot, looking for another.
Whoa, whoa!
Oh, look out, Yargis. That's not where that tire goes.
No, it is not. Caution will fly. That's a very significant obstacle to be in the way of our field. It's got the replay here of Rick Yargis.
So let's take a look and see how it happened. And he's trying to gather back up to it. Gets a little love tap from Litz and then just can't miss the Uke tire with the left front corner of that car. So shoves that out into the middle. We'll get everything put back into place and get this field restacked up and good to go. But not too far into a 40-lapper. If we were into a 30-lapper, this race would be a little bit more developed. But as is 6 laps in, 34 to go as we get ready to do back to green flag action.
88 Litz will work him slowly, and there we go. Out of the corner, green flag will fly. Talbert there falling in behind Vincent now. Vincent with a great restart. So Flett, Borison might have gotten together. At the last completed lap, the 68 had not yet been passed by the 5.
Okay, and so reverts to the last completed time around for all the drivers. That is a bonus for Flett and a bonus for Manning. Meanwhile, Chevy Vincent now to the inside, sparking up a storm, trying to get a spot back from Borison, and Borison going to be stuck around the outside of the right-hand turn or the south pole, depending on how you want to look at it.
Yeah, Chris Southard was stopped there at the edge of your screen you saw last time. Following around Quentin Borison in the number 5, chasing Chevy Vincent with Jessica Wilkinson behind him. Southard has made it to the intersection, so good to see that that car got refired once again. It's Aaron Flett in the number 98. Following behind is new to that car as well.
Oh, that's your race letter. Yeah, Litz off. No idea what had happened there. He has just pulled off and out into no man's land, and that gives Sheridan Vincent the lead. Jeff Talbert now second, and Mackenzie Dietz going to take third, so everybody gets bonus 1 position.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, as the 88 pulls into the infield and we throw the caution, Quentin Borison also recipient of that extra position.
So caution flag is out. I don't see any. Oh, and there it is. So from the in-car view of Southard's 76, there's Litz coming up on him and
jumps him.
Yeah, uses him as a pole vault going into the corner, up, down, and who knows what kind of damage happened to the Litz car in that point of view. And that's part of the deal when running up front is you do have to deal with slower traffic. And unfortunately for Guy Litz right there, it comes up and bites him.
Sometimes just a game of dodge. You got to take evasive maneuvers when you see someone in front of you. Sheridan Vincent will now be the one who leads them to the green. Slows up a little bit out of the corner. Going to give an opportunity to Blaine Manning to try and capitalize over Jeff Talbert. But Sheridan will lead him here into the right-hand corner. 72 of Jeff Talbert right there makes the move stick. And he will go up into second, Manning in third.
Outside of some bad luck, Talbert has had a very consistent and fast race car over the course of this year. And right now running to the second spot, seeing what he can do with Sheridan as he eyeballs the back of him, making the big, long right-hand corner at the south end of the racetrack, and comes back after him through the intersection. Intersection not super busy yet, but it will be with this gigantic field of cars as we are now 25% and change through this race, 11 in and 29 to go. Out front, Vincent, Talbert, and Manning, your top 3.
You might notice something wrong if you look just in front of our leaders. The number 67, who was running up front, problems for Mackenzie Dietz, hearing some mechanical troubles for the number 67. Hope to continue, and no, she's heading back to the pits.
Hart year started so strong, your early season points leader, and unfortunately, she has been absolutely battling the mechanical gremlin since, I'm going to say, about June forward in the 67 car. So Dietz off with an issue, and everybody else plus one more spot who is in behind her.
See Vincent leading him through. Borison on the right side of your screen. He's who we're riding along with. Right into the back of the rookie stripes to Chevy Vincent. Chasing him around here, coming through the intersection. Real cool shot from this view as you just see exactly what the driver is looking at. That left side, who's coming at you when you come through the corner.
And at the same time, this way backed off shot from turn one, kind of giving you a whole track glimpse, at least for a second, and how close they are at the intersection, at least the front, the back of that field to the front of it. Vincent, Talbert, and Manning, they're all stacked up like sardines in a can as they come through the left-hand corner, and they're approaching the back end of that line. The intersection is starting to heat up.
The train can be very convenient when you're single file around this, but just like any train, if the front car has some problems, it stacks everyone up, and like clockwork, Chevy Vincent gets shuffled out as his cars come derailed.
Borison with a chance to make his way past Chevy, but Chevy gets back inside and back into line, at least here in the South Pole, to the point where Flett's going to go around in front of all of them.
Contact, it looked like. Chevy just trying to force the issue, made a little bit of a bump, and lapped cars now intermixed with your leaders. Wilson in front of the 43, and Fleischacker here in front of Borison.
Interesting turn of events here as we're going to watch slower traffic integrate within the line they're racing in and mix in throughout the intersection. That's a nice job by Vincent getting up and around and putting a lap car in between himself and Talbert. So Sheridan Vincent gets the lapper there. Now Talbert will get clear, and Manning trying to do the same thing, all with Borison trying to knock his way into the top three.
It's a fast number 5 car. Many a title won behind the wheel of that thing. Vincent continuing to lead, coming up now on Dakota Wilkinson's number 8.
Fast race car, different race team though. You look at all those years that that car won the title. It's just in the recent years that the Mary's Towing ownership has taken over it as the shepherd of the car. With it came a car number changes. For many years it was the 17.
Yes, it was, and now Borison driving the Mary's Towing number 5 as he got alongside Blaine Manning, but it looks like the lapped car of Dakota Wilkinson going to force him back in line.
Top 3 remaining the same here with Vincent, Talbert, and Manning having a fantastic battle. It's not that often that you see somebody able to keep Quentin Borison behind you for this long of a time on this long of a green flag run, but Blaine Manning has done that, all the while sticking with Talbert in the battle for the lead up front. We're just beyond halfway, 21 in and 19 to go, make it 22 in and 18 to go this time around, as Vincent making the Rick Jones Super Stock Figure 8 Monroe Grocery Outlet Super Stock Figure 8 look awfully good in front of this field.
Saw a little bit of contact there from Manning into the back of Talbert, but it's composure. That's really the secret. Keep your composure. Keep your wits about you behind the wheel of Figure 8 car. Keep those nerves of steel ready to roll as cars around. It's Taylor and Borison into the side of Flett.
To the point where it knocked the door unhinged on the 98 of Flett. You saw that 98 bobbing up and down. Caution on the racetrack, and let's get a look. Replays coming from our Seattle 11 crew. Borison, no time to do anything. That was just lickety-split. So one more look at it. Here's what happened to Flett coming in through the intersection. We have got to take a timeout. We'll finish off this Super Stock Figure 8 main event when we come back here on Home Track Heroes. Been an interesting battle here in the Monroe Grocery Outlet Super Stock Figure 8A main event here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Derek Todoroff, I'm Caleb Hart. Thank you guys for letting us entertain you on a Sunday night, and these drivers are entertaining us. There's 18 laps to go left here in this main event. Your leader is Sheridan Vincent. He picked up the lead a little while ago when Guy Litz used another driver as a pogo stick for a second. That knocked him out of the race. The battle for second's been really good behind him. Jeff Talbert, Blaine Manning sitting in that spot, and we might have a new 4th place car. Is that Robert Weldon taking the spot away from Quentin Borison?
That it is, but he will fall back behind Jessica Wilkinson. as a lot of other cars caught up in that one. You didn't necessarily see Chevy Vincent having troubles with leaking fluid. Same for Chris Southard. See the large patch of track dry right there. Sheridan leading the way. Talbert and Manny, your top 3.
And that's your battle up front here in the Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8s. Monroe Grocery Outlet is your locally owned neighborhood grocery store. They offer name brand products, fresh produce, organics, wine, and more at 40 to 70% less than traditional grocery stores. Shop them first and save. Monroe Grocery Outlet, the proud sponsor of our Superstock Figure 8 class.
Drivers being warned. You might have saw Flyshacker come to a stop there when we pass through the intersection. The 43 Sheridan Vincent standing strong in front of this trio up at the top of the board. Talbert and Manning have formed quite the gap back to Jessica Wilkinson and Big Bird Robert Weldon. Still working their way around the track. Then it's Yargis and Porrison battling for that 6th place spot. Keep in mind, points still very much a matter.
War of attrition here through the back half of this field as we've seen it thin out a little bit, and that's good news when it comes to the intersection. The thinner the field gets, the easier it is to navigate the X, most dangerous intersection in Washington, West Coast.
The West.
Yeah, maybe even the world. It's possible. Battle for spot, look out, Robert Weldon goes loopy.
He's lost the left rear.
Sparking up a storm over in the corner, and around goes Flyshackers 36 in the process. So with 13 to go, they get, oh no, Flyshacker out right back in front of him, and that's going to cost the lead for Vincent.
Talbert going to get to it. Vincent still holds on to second. Saved that car. Looked like it was going around with how much he had to swerve out of the way. Manning going to stay in third. Then it is Jessica Wilkinson and Quentin Borison, your top 5.
What terrible luck for Sheridan Vincent in that spot with just circumstantially a slower car coming back into the racing groove and him having to take evasive action. Talbert has been on the wrong end of lap cars more than a few times here this year, and it might be time for the ball to not lie and him to get the benefit of it as he's got the lead now with 10 laps to go. And Vincent, I'm assuming his internal temperature might have just picked up a little bit. He's got to be trying to stomp that throttle pedal through the floor.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit of 72 at Talbert. Happy to see good fortune come his way after what has been a little bit of a rough season for Jeff.
Yeah, that car's been torn up a couple of times, not to his own fault, as Talbert now with a car length lead and coming into slower traffic once again, but we're into the single digits as far as laps left go. Was it Jeff who was on the pole of the Figure 8 Nationals for the Superstocks to get torn up on the first intersection pass that we ended up having? It was, and that was that bad luck coming back to bite him. A couple of times runner-up early in the season on late race passes from Mackenzie Dietz in lapped traffic. Right now, if he can get around Yargis, which he can, he's got a more clear path to taking this feature win than he's had in a little while. We're down to 6 to go as Vincent is caught back up to him, and Manning, ever present in that third spot, just steady and unwavering, looking for opportunity himself.
Well, Talbert actually got the opportunity to pilot a outlaw Figure 8 out east at State Line Speedway, and gotta wonder, you know, maybe a little bit of blood pumping from that experience get you excited to come out here to Superstock Figure 8, put on a show for everyone in this crowd. 43 Sheridan has closed back in on the tail, but might be running out of time to make something happen.
Not again. You shouldn't see slower traffic ahead of you unless something big happens. So the only real obstacle for Talbert would be the intersection if it pops up here in the last 4 laps. And you can see the back end of that intersection is imminent. So if he catches it, he'd have to deal with it as Weldon pointing the wrong way, still in the south pole. Just getting a really good look at everybody. You can wave hi to them as they all come past. Hello. Hi.
Weldon hits reverse, gonna back up, point the right direction, see where he comes out in front of the leaders.
Your blend-in is gonna be super important here, and he's gonna wait until around the turn if he's even gonna pull back into the racing lane at that point in time.
Yeah, not sure he's gonna do that as 72 Machine leads him out of the corner. 2 to go for your leaders, Jeff Talbert, Sheridan Vincent, and Blaine Manning.
Back into that line, super close to your leader, as it is Vincent in the black with red, kind of 43 car, really a 66, but scoring it as the 43 here. with one more shot here. He'll have one set of right-hand corners, one set of lefts. They'll make it through the intersection once. And here it comes on the backslide. Does Vincent have anything for Talbert? Intersection, non-factor. Talbert, 2 more turns, and to the win, Jeff Talbert in the Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8s. Sheridan Vincent second, Blaine Manning a solid third.
See the 5 of Borson come home in 4th. 5th is going to go to Jessica Wilkinson. We'll talk with them all at the Angel of the Winds podium right here on Seattle 11.
Well, Blaine, you started the year in one car, and I know how difficult it can be to swap between them, but you've come into your own here behind the wheel of 68. You were fast all day, and it pays off at the podium finish tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a whole different car from the number 11 that I was driving. It's taken a lot to get used to, and we've had a fast car almost every race, and then some sort of mechanical malfunction happens during the race. So finally, I finished one. I'm on the podium. It's a good day.
When chaos unfolds in front of you like you saw all race long, what's going through your head in those moments?
Oh, it's so fast, it's hard to even react, and your brain just goes to it. It's just natural.
And who would you like to thank for getting the 68 here to the podium?
Be Happy Carpet Cleaning, Winston Auto Repair, B&R Drywall, GN Northwest, and Kenny Shukar.
Driver of the number 68, Blaine Manning, third tonight. All right, Sheridan, it's not a lot, but it's something to dig in that little bit, keep that foothold, keep digging to go catch Quentin Borson. How are you feeling going into the final one next week, the 2 weeks?
Honestly, I don't care about points. I'm just out here having fun with friends and family. I don't want to cry. So I screwed my motor up at State Line last week. We've ran the car 3 weeks in a row. I went to fire it up yesterday to load it, and it was hydro-locked. I let Rick borrow my motor last year, and he said, absolutely, you're taking my car. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So my motor, but his car. And man, it was a drive, but if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here.
It's a close figure 8 family, and it's always been one of the coolest parts to me. How's it feel here, second place? Can you get it next time?
I don't know if I can throw my car back together or not, but actually, that one drove pretty dang good tonight, so I might just stick with that. But yeah, we'll be back September 14th, I believe, to see what happens with the points that night. But I got to thank Winter Speed Shop, Rick Jones, we call him Papa Rick. Next week he'll be Senior Rick. So thank my wife, actually at State Line, or coming back from State Line when I messed my clutch up. She loaded it up that night, had to up on jack stands and started pulling the tranny out before I ever got a chance to. So my wife, my aunt, everybody that supports us, Tyler, Savannah, who? Oh, Siskin Power Equipment, yeah, my sponsors, that'll be a good one. Siskin Power Equipment, my Aunt Heidi, NEM's Dog Spa, there's more. There's lots of them, but I can't remember right now.
Driver the number 43, Sheridan Vincent, second tonight. I know it's been a little bit of a long season, it's been up and down. This is a high. Yes. How does it feel to take it here in front of a pretty big crowd?
I mean, it feels amazing. Luck fell in my way. And obviously traffic plays a key. Traffic got me twice in the beginning of the season. I'll take it any way I can.
Superstock figure 8 racing, one of the most enjoyable things to watch. You piloted an Outlaw last week at State Line. Any opportunity perhaps next year to pilot one here?
There's potential. We'll see what happens. We've got some things that we got to work out and make that car a little bit more comfortable for me. I'm a little big, but man, I had a blast in that thing. It's a completely different car, different everything. Superstock is where my heart is with my grandpa and everything that he did for figure 8, and we'll see what happens.
That's the future. Let's focus on the present. Who helped to get your car here?
First off, got to thank my wife. She does everything. All my family, this is the first time I think they've been here for this. Ricky and Katie, they're amazing. Spotting is a game changer. Everybody, Jim, Jessica, all the Wilkinsons, Harrison and Hannah, Pilchuck Heating, Stephanie's Hope, Evergreen Speedway for putting this on. It's a lot of fun.
Driver the number 72, race winner tonight, Jeff Talbert.
And congratulations, Jeff Talbert, as Talbert takes home the win in the Mineral Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8s. We move on. Let's go small cars, but let's put them on the Figure 8 track. It's the Buzz Inn Steakhouse Stinger 8s, 15 cars, and a whole bunch of laps around the Figure 8 once again. As on the pole, it'll be Devin Jenkins, the 195 out of Maltby, sponsored by PNW Traffic Control. Next to him, it's the 87 of Ben Michelle out of Snohomish.
The number 46, sponsored by Rep and Welding and Rail out of Marysville, is Mike Hathaway. The 03 of Edwards K&S Construction Machine, that's Lucas Hausenfluck out of Lake Stevens.
Third row, Riley Riddell out of Gold Bar, the DL Enterprises car. And the 102 of Randy Moffitt out of Everett, sponsored by B&R Drywall.
Nat Construction aboard the 23 of Bryce Kohler. He's alongside the 78 of Kyle Shukar.
Row number 5. What a row this is. 21 of Matt Somerville out of Monroe, Airport, Weldon, and Muffler. Next to the 10 of Cody Hoops out of Marysville in a JBR car.
The Bardall number 16 out of Monroe, that's Peyton Hopp in the Integrinator 2.0. Next to the LRA Landscaping 73 out of Arlington, Derek Myers.
13th and 14th starters, Captain Chaos, the 8 of Jacob Funk out of Mill Creek, and the 151 of Cody Weldon out of Arlington, the All-Ply Roofing LLC car, with Zach Bristol starting 15th on the field in the PMS Power Decals number 07. So 15 cars. We going 40 again?
We are.
Let's do it. Green flag out here. Figure 8 Mania.
Into the first corner, see the 195 get the advantage. We already stack up loads of contact into that first corner as Michelle hits a Uke tire, and down goes the right front, it looks like.
That car is missing sponsorship on the hood of it. We need to get the Announcer's Curse podcast on that.
No, I think that's a great idea.
All right, just keep that in mind as, lean and hard. Somerville using all that front bumper on the back of Riley Riddell coming in through the right-hand set of corners. Riddell currently in third, chasing Mike Hathaway, and Matt Somerville wants that spot. He wants it bad. Integrinator 2.0 of Hop going to follow him on through if he can get there. As Somerville, beep, beep, coming to the front.
Yeah, using a bit of that chrome horn, or I guess in this case it's all black up front. The Integrinator 2.0 going to the high side, trying to get around Riddell. Unable to do so through the right-hand corner, and unable to get that low side advantage through the left-hander. As, a little bit of contact gets the 20 loose.
We were speaking off-air of how clean that Superstock Figure 8 race was at times, and here come the Stingers being the exact opposite within the first 3 laps.
Much like Hornets, they're a little bit riled up and unafraid to start stinging.
Well, to the inside, Somerville was up into the rear quarter panel of Hathaway. Hathaway now on the back of the 195 of Jenkins, looking for the top spot. Those 3 stack up as they swing around and to the right. Somerville might carry that outside line through. He'll fall back into line as they make the left-hand set of corners, but Somerville, an interesting run on Hathaway that he just couldn't complete to make a spot there.
Yeah, the 195 going to continue to lead him. You see the 20 and 16 closing in on the back bumper of Somerville. Somerville just still showing a few taps to the back of the 46, I suppose.
Well, you know, he's been physical. Absolutely racing that way here early on. He hasn't been dirty. He hasn't been to the point where he's punted a guy or moved him out of the way. It's just not afraid to use the front end of that race car to let the guy in front of him know that he's there. Heck, hasn't really hit anybody hard enough to get him, say, quote, out of line at this point in time. It's just not afraid to do it, as Hathaway's going to run him all the way down into the bottom of the intersection to protect that groove.
Now you see Hop used an opportunity to get to the low side against the number 20 of Riley Riddell. Almost got there and then just got sideways as,
near miss for Cody Weldon in the intersection. Quote me when we've said that before. Hathaway gets strung around way around the outside, and that'll cost him position as Weldon nearly into him. And then Somerville gets moved. He's way out of line. Hathaway going to get him back, and Riddell gets him in the process.
There's some smoke coming off of the number 8. Captain Chaos went back to the pits. Saw him at the edge of your screen, but Devin Jenkins happy to see all the carnage unfolding behind him. That means he does not need to worry about those drivers, at least for a little bit.
So a little bump there from the 21 of Somerville, and we are going to take a yellow flag here. Caution out, understand there is fluid out on the racetrack. You can see that stripe, so we're going to take a second, clean it up. We'll be back with more Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11, brought to you by Gene Johnson Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Back to action we go. Here it is Seattle 11 night, and it is Figure 8 Mania here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Derek Todoroff and Caleb Hart with you. And, well, after a little bit of cleanup, 8 laps into this Buzz Inn Steakhouse Stinger 8A main event, track's got some kitty litter down on it, but we should have a drier racing surface to rumble around on.
And they're going to be led to the green by Devin Jenkins. Away we go once again. 195 gets a good jump. And the 20 machine going to push back into the second place spot. Here comes Matt Somerville, though, in the number 21. Charging up, trying to make something work. And lots of contact.
Wow, and your leader's around at the same time. Hoops kind of sneaking in and going through. So Jenkins around. Hathaway and Somerville renew some, I don't know, physicality that was going on between them. And your top 3 looks drastically different, as now it's Rudell, Kolar, and Hoops 1, 2, and 3.
I think Somerville might have gotten into the back of Rudell, who went into the back of the 195. That checked everyone up, and then suddenly we're all spinning in the left-hand corner. Regardless of who did what and what caused it, Riley Rudell is the leader at the moment. Kolar chasing him down. 3-time Stinger 8 champion Cody Hoops running in third.
And that is the 78 of Kyle Shukar, who has zero fear, trying to roll around Hathaway. He's side by side now with Somerville. Meanwhile, Kolar, love tap on Rudell, and trying to make his way side by side with him. Lead battle is on as they work their way to the North Pole.
Opportunity here for Hoops to perhaps follow the 20 around if he can make a good move. Not sure they're going to clear Kolar. Is Kolar going to have that big run heading into the right-hand corner? They go door to door. Maybe saw a little bit of contact as Hoops gets out of shape. He'll go side by side now, battle for third. The 16 of Hop. So Hop and Hoops, Rudell and Kolar right now.
And give it to Kolar as he's got the lead coming off the corner. Our program today brought to you by Gene Johnson Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. As you watch the in-car from Peyton Hop working on, he is 4th in that line up on the back of Hoops, and the intersection is looming, Derek.
That it is getting hot enough to grill a Buzz Inn steak. Number 23 leading the way. Kolar on the lookout for what might happen in front of him as we're getting closer and closer on these calls.
Buzz Inn Steakhouse, hand-cut Angus steaks, breakfast all day, and mouth-watering burgers. Visit one of their 13 locations. Buzz Inn Steakhouse, proud sponsor of this Stinger 8 class, and go for breakfast and get the Bigfoot chicken fried steak. You will, 1, be so full, and 2, your taste buds will be so happy.
I'll remember that as Hop gets into the back of Hoops. It's going to get a 2-for-1 deal. The 20 gets out of whack as a result as well. Hop now fighting side by side. That's the battle for second place between the two of them, Hop and Hoops. With Somerville and Rudell waiting in the wings. And Devin Jenkins losing a lap to Bryce Kolar, your race leader. Hoops take control second.
Man, there's a lot happening between like 2nd through 7th right there in that line. And, you know, even though they're single file, they're only single file for a second until one of them lays the chrome horn to the other and more chaos continues. There's Shukar on the back of Rudell, and Rudell eyeballing the back of Somerville. I mean, if anybody has has any kind of temper going here tonight, we could see even more physicality coming out of these race cars. Peyton Hop in the 16, trying to run down Cody Hoops in front of him, and then a quick glance back on the left-hand side of your screen for everything else that's going on.
Jenkins holding up the 2nd through 4th line as Somerville giving a shot to the back of the 16, cascading forward. One of those, I don't know what they're called. I just realized the cradle things, you know, the ball, flap.
Cradle thing?
Flap.
No,
right,
no
yep.
clue.
All right, cool.
Metronome?
No, metronome is the tick, not the flap.
Oh, gotcha. Put that on the blooper reel, would you? As we make our way through the South Pole they go, and looping around the outside and finding room. There they go. Split the difference on Jenkins, and 3 cars don't go wide in that corner very well. However, they pulled it off. I'm not sure how.
Hop just narrowly avoiding making contact with the Uke tire. We're riding along with him on the right side of your screen. You saw how close he got. We stay in order halfway home. 20 down, 20 to go. Going to make it 19 left when Kohler makes it to the line.
It is Kolar, Hoops, and Hop. Follow them then that order. Hop is in the silver with yellow 16, splits the difference in the intersection as Somerville skins the cat coming through in the white 21. Manages not hit anything. They get past Weldon. We know Weldon will not lift in that intersection as he barely clears going in front of another one of the drivers. I swear that Uke tire right about apex of the corner and the North Pole is out just a hair, making things even more interesting as there goes Somerville making the move and ooh, shot to the side for his work there.
Big hit there is no. See, look, they're behind the white line.
Ish?
No, I wouldn't say ish.
I'll take another look the next time they come by, and we won't get one. That's fine. I'll be right, and you can be wrong. Kolar continuing to lead, 23 and 17 to go. This field's spread out, and they're having to really feather the intersection something serious. Hoops in second, trying to run him down. Somerville's got a slower car in between him. Brake check Peyton Hop, and he passes the test there, as that is Lucas Hausenflux lap car, the 03, that was slow in that instance. Now, your race, that is back further in your battle. Myers is 73. Shukar's 78 and Rudell's 20, all lead lap cars, split the difference on Weldon. Watch them roll through.
Contact.
Look out. Kolar, your leader, smashing into the rear corner panel of Myers in the 73.
Folded up the front, fluid pouring out of the 23. He's heading straight to the pits. It looks like we got replays.
Eliminator through the intersection for your race leader, Bryce Kolar. Not Myers' fault by any means. That was just one of those figure-8 racing happenstances. Here's Somerville coming through. There's Kolar, and you can see the damage as he limps off racetrack. Here's a second look. Yeah, nothing you can do there. The 73 was trying to swing way wide to get through anyways without causing any destruction. And Bryce, right in the door, bang. There is your epitome of what can happen in figure-8 racing here at Evergreen Speedway.
Yeah, the intersection is a dangerous, dangerous place to be. You got to make that split-second decision. Unfortunately for Kohler, doesn't go his way.
So we'll have a new race leader when we get back to action, and that is going to be the 10 of Cody Hoops. Hoops in the 10, Peyton Hop to the inside of Matt Somerville, the 16 and the 21, and boy, has that been a bloodbath. And then Rudell in the 20 sneaking back forward. He'll be fourth. Say Shukar and Hathaway are lead lap cars in round 5th and 6th. So this one by no means over. And once again,
Hathaway has disappeared.
I thought I saw him. No, he disappeared. He was on the initial start and then poof.
I think that's him heading back to the pits there on the number 46.
Okay, he's pulling a David Blaine on us. That's fine. Okay, fine. You'll get the reference someday. Go Wikipedia it.
Someday.
Hoops, Somerville, and Hop making their way right-hand corners with 27 in and 13 to go here. And again, Somerville has been very willing to use Nerf bars and doors and whatever it is he has at his disposal. We'll see what plays out. We're the final 12 laps now. Hoops wants to get away and run. And this field has thinned a little bit. Like, you take a look on the way through, it's looking less busy back in the pack for your race leader. And that's good news for Cody and potentially great news for Somerville and Hop, depending on how they want to use it.
Well, 15 cars started this race, and Weldon is the last one running at the moment. They're in the 10th place spot as, Somerville into the back of Hoops. They go door to door, a little bit of door checking, door slamming. Here into the left-hand corner, Hoops not giving any ground. He's got some help coming from Hop, and Somerville going to slide back.
Oh, yeah, Bat got pushed way wide coming through that corner, and like you said, give the assist to Peyton Hop. If Hop hadn't been right there in the back of Hoops, Somerville might have had a chance to just cut down real quick and at least rotate second. So Hoops still leads Hop 2, Somerville 3, as time running out here. Side by side further back in the pack as they're leading on each other, even for cars that aren't on the lead lap. They're trying to take each other out.
Oh, it doesn't change anything up front here. Side by side between Hop and Somerville. 16 got sideways after a little bit of contact. The intersection hot once again. A heat race worth of distance to go for Cody Hoops, the 3-time Stingray champion, and the 151 coming out right in front of Hop, and Hop is sideways.
Nice save, Peyton Hop, coming in and through. Weldon, the blend-in could have come at a vastly different time. It didn't, no big deal. Hop trying to work to get around Cody now, and Cody will fare wide, at least for now. Swing back down and in, and tuck in behind Somerville with traffic coming in through the intersection. Into the back of Somerville even as they get into the turn.
Everyone relying a bit on that chrome horn like we talked about.
Is this bump to pass?
No.
Did we miss the memo?
That's next that's next episode.
Okay, just checking. We didn't miss the memo.
No, we did not.
All right. Well, we'll have bumped pass cars coming up on next week's Home Track Heroes. Spoiler alert. As Hoops is taking advantage of this to really add some pad and some nice, easy, relax, lower the blood pressure breathing room as this race gets very long in the tooth.
Not sure there's such a thing as relaxing in figure 8 racing, as there is 5 to go for Cody Hoops. Like you were saying, though, he does have quite the gap, probably in large part due to some of the contact we've seen between Hop and Somerville and everyone else.
I don't know. Some of these drivers have cup holders in these cars. They're drink bottle holders, and they're predominantly seen in the longer divisions, although you're going to want one for the upcoming 60 Minutes of Fear, which is coming up to finish our season out here at Evergreen Speedway. You're in the car for literally 60 minutes, so if you need a drink at some point in time, get that bottle holder. Get the super insulated one. It'll work well for you.
Do not advise, personally speaking, I do not advise trying to take a drink while you're racing a figure 8 car.
You do it under caution flag conditions, of which we haven't seen one in just a minute or two. Why? Because things are clean up front for Hoops as he darts to the inside of Lucas Hausenfluck, and we have got just 2 laps to go this time around.
Through the intersection, see the gap between him and Hop and Somerville. 16 and 21 still battling it out for that second place spot, but Hoops, the 3-time champion, happy to have some lap cars between them. Through the left-hander, and Weldon once again playing a role. He's into the back of the 16.
What another save by Peyton Hop. Holy cow.
Oh, he hit the Uke tire there too.
That's okay. He made the save. He's just got to park it around one more set of corners. Somerville not going to make it easy on him. Hoops is going to get this W. Hop is getting destroyed out there. Hangs on, in through the turn. Here's the checkered. Hoops wins. And Peyton Hop, get that man some ibuprofen as he ends up taking second over Matt Somerville in third, who might need some as well.
The number of shots he was taking, get him a Kevlar vest. He was staying resilient out there.
Wow.
Saving that car. Impressive work.
Shot. Not that kind of shots.
Not that kind of shots.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those deals. Get out the rubber hammer during the period of time before the next race and start beating and banging some of the dents out. All right, Cody Hoops going to burn her down. As look at that, donuts backward style. Smoking up the front tires. As he should be excited. He ran a really nice race tonight. We'll talk to him hopping Somerville down on the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium.
Matt, another podium, survive another night. Now one more race, still with the points lead. What's going in your mind?
Just trying to finish these races. I really let it get the best of me. I felt like I just couldn't catch the brake when I was getting to the front. I just was driving way over my head, way angry. I was over the top, and I actually kind of feel bad about the way I drove. No, not kind of, I do.
And who do you want to thank for helping you get out here?
I do want to thank my sponsors, Airport Welding and Muffler, JBR Racing. I've been working on this car all day, literally. It's been a long day for sure.
Let's give it up. Third place, Matt Somerville. Peyton, a tough race out there, lots of the intersection. When you're going to shoot that gap, what's going through in your head?
I'm just trying to find a gap and just trying to predict what the other driver is going to do. I mean, some drivers kind of like to hesitate and play that game. Other drivers, you know what they're going to do, but I mean, it's all about patience. Patience is key to this game, and you know, some drivers just have it more than others.
And who do you want to thank for helping you get out here tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Hornets Nest Racing, Bardall Oil, Matt Johnson Designs, Hop Racing, Grandma and Grandpa Hop,
Fast Eddie's Tire Pros, and Brandy Hood Promotions, and just all the great fans that came out here tonight. I mean, we can't do this without you guys, so we appreciate you coming out here on Labor Day, and we're hoping we're putting on a good show for you. Woo!
Second place, Peyton Hop. Cody, tough race, came back after taking a big shot a few weeks ago. Just talk about putting the car back together and now coming home winning the race.
2 in a row. There was a lot of fast cars out there today. I think I qualified 4th, and on that restart, they were right on my bumper, but managed to hold them off, and it was an exciting race. Lots of intersection, and hopefully it was a good show.
Who do you want to thank for? Who do you want to thank for helping you get out here?
JBR, Cascade Auto, Vinyl Status, Tom Easley, my wife Ari, Dave Riddell, and Motorsports Mondays.
Let's give it up. Race winner tonight, the 10, Cody Hoops.
Well, we've got one more to go. It's Figure 8 Mania here on Seattle 11. He's Derek Todoroff. I'm Caleb Hart. And the beloved by you, me, everybody, Chain Link Express Wash Outlaw Figure 8s on the racetrack for 40, and we gave them a dry racetrack to go roll around on. Let's see how they end up performing. It is Nick Holton in the 71 on the pole, the MCA Creations sponsored car. Next to him, it's Doug Wilkinson driving the 98 tonight, sponsored by Pristine Landscaping.
Tony V's Garage aboard the number 25. That's Dakota Wilkinson out of Lake Stevens, alongside his sister, the number 35, Cobalt Cycles in Granite Falls, machine of Haley Wilkinson.
In the third row, Chris Curtis, the 74 out of Tulalip, sponsored by Bulldog Haven Northwest. Outside of him, John Carlson, the Fireplace Guy, Hearth and Home LLC, number 50, out of Monroe.
Ryan Clark rounds out your field in the number 51 out of Granite Falls, sponsored by Bulldog Haven. As we are going to go one until green. Didn't like the way they were coming to it.
Give them one more. Oh, Haley, chill. Test the brakes,
So,
you're good.
This is the first time a father, son, and daughter have been on track together since the days of scrap iron racing here at Evergreen Speedway.
Cool, that is kind of a Wilkinson family reunion up in the front of this field. So they've got good odds. They've got a 3-7 shot of taking a Wilkinson family trophy home for the main event victor. Green flag out.
Green is in the air. Doug right here on the low side against Nick. Going to have that advantageous line. They make it through the corner. I think Nick going to slot in right there. I'm sure happy to follow one of the most experienced drivers in this field, and Doug Wilkinson as well. Cowboy and Curtis both get a little bit of contact from behind.
Careful, because they're now going to stay way out of that gray line around the racetrack, the speedy dry, the kitty litter, whatever you want to call it. It is just a little bit marbly until it gets run in about 100 times as it soaks up the fluid that got put down earlier. Chris Curtis, that's a big old smoke show, as he's going to have to get back up to speed and pull up from the back of the pack to try to start passing guys.
A little bit of contact between him and the 51 Orion Clark.
Now, as the resident historian here, you have, and especially with figure eights and outlaw figure eights, we know Dakota has got feature wins. How long has it been since Doug was in Victory Lane, assuming that he has been there in an outlaw before?
Doug has been to Victory Lane and outlaw before. Doesn't have the big name wins. He's not a Nationals winner. He's not a champion. He's not a 60 Minutes of Fear winner. But he has won.
Okay, just been a little while, right? Because I don't remember him picking up a feature win in my time yet.
I believe 2020, 2021.
Okay, so that's right on the edge of about the time frame that I would be remembering. Yeah. So running the Shane Brook 98 car and pacing the field early here tonight, as we've got a lot of laps to go when we come back. Our final segment is coming up next as you are tuned in to Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11. While we were at break, top of the field staying mostly the same, except right there, Dakota Wilkinson making the move on Nick Holton as we come back. Door panel to door panel for the runner-up spot behind Father Doug. Dakota Wilkinson digging for second. He's got the nose in on Holton, getting in through the corner.
He just hit the Uke tire?
Did he? Hard to say from my end. You'll notice in the front suspension, though, if he did. As here comes Kimmy Wilkinson, and oh no! Holding around. Holy cow. Happened quick.
Oh, Haley goes.
Haley goes around. I was about to say Kimmy. I meant Haley. As so, we've got cars flying all over the place. And Doug Wilkinson uses it to really stretch that lead out. You are watching Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11, the voice of Derek Todoroff next to me. I am Caleb Hart, and of course, our program brought to you by Gene Johnson Plumbing, Heating and Cooling and Electrical, the name you can trust since 1976 for quality service and peace of mind. Visit them today at GeneJohnsonServices.com. As they say, we're on it. So it's Doug 1, Dakota 2, Cowboy Carlson now sitting in the third spot as you're watching the left-hand side of your screen.
Smoke coming off the right rear tire, though, for the number 50 machine. Cowboy might have some sort of problem brewing there as Clark getting into the back of Chris Curtis. Cowboy going to slide up the track. Just look at that smoke coming off the right rear area. He's going to go right behind Curtis. Maybe a little bit of contact.
Yeah, like something bound up in the back of that race car. So you can see that thing just does not have drive right now.
No.
He goes to accelerate, and there's just nothing there for him. So Cowboy, the problem on the right rear, and it's affecting the entirety of the drive of that race car, as both Curtis and Clark have cleared him. And John's going to try to sort it out, at least stay on racetrack here and keep after, get the points that he can pick up while he can. Cowboy from the in-car camera, and you can watch it. It's more evident, though not like in the screen itself, but watch on the left-hand side, how off the pace he is when he goes to hammer the accelerator.
Well, you can just see he was running up with everyone else, and he's just fallen so far back. And so little time. I mean, it's been 2 laps since Clark got around him, and already almost the full length of the straightaway ahead of him.
Yeah, in fact, there was your leader, who's now a whole half track ahead of the Cowboy. Meanwhile, out in front, Doug Wilkinson in the car. Richard Chainbrook has taken that car to a victory himself, so that car's been in victory lane here, but Doug looking to crack victory lane himself, and just like you would expect the tenured veteran to do, looks really solid out in front of the field, coming up to see if he can put a lap on his daughter.
Yeah, Doug Wilkinson in that number 98. So many laps out here at Evergreen Speedway. Has found success quite a few times, run in the points battle quite a few times, and I've said it in the past, it may not be as many flashy wins, but there is certainly a level of experience and talent there that I think sometimes goes unrecognized.
And you take a look at it too, like he has not only been successful piloting figure eights in multiple different divisions as well, but he's hopped behind the wheel of a Pro 4 truck and done very well in that. And you name it, if you want to get your car rolling right, put Doug Wilkinson in for a night. He'll at least tell you and make the car, make the whole operation better.
Yeah, Doug's got a feel for those cars. It's always fun to watch him in the pits when he climbs out and just evaluates, okay, I need to change this, need to alter this a little bit. It's just a way with the iron.
You've spent some time down there in the pit area when watching Doug kind of do his race engineering and figure out what he wants in the race car before?
Yeah.
Is he general barking orders, or is he give me a 9/16, I've got to get underneath and do it myself kind of guy?
It's much more of a give me the 9/16. He's going to slide under the car, as unfortunately Cowboy going to slide into the pits. It's one of those deals of he likes to have his hands on it, likes to see what he's working on.
Sure, and that's one thing to be said for drivers of his generation. You know, they're not just, okay, here's what the car is doing, here's what I'm feeling, but they know mechanically what they want to go in and change to attain the feel in the race car they want. It's not only driver, but crew chief at the same time, and it's almost becoming a lost art these days.
Yeah, and I mean, you talk about crew chiefing, he's helped his son Dakota, whether it be during 60 Minutes of Fear in the past. He's helped Haley with that new car she's been driving. He's a very experienced crew chief and a very valuable skill to have, especially when you're the one behind the wheel.
Yeah, and talking about Doug a little bit more as the battle for second gets intense. Curtis now up in the back of Dakota Wilkinson, gave him a little hi, hello, I'm here shot to announce his arrival, and we'll do that again. Ooh, that's a serious thump through that corner to the point where Wilkinson now sideways coming off, and it's going to be a drag race into the right-hand turn, although Wilkinson a good job gathering that car back up. But when you've got a crew chief in that instance, is where Doug, who's been a driver as well, they speak driver a little bit better and can better go, well, the car's doing this at the corner, and know what they're going to need coming off as we got problems. That is Curtis swerving Mervin in and through, getting through the intersection, dropped the spot to Clark, and that car looks like it's got some severe issues.
Its steering is gone.
Yeah, as he is going to pull her to a stop up on top there of the right-hand set of corners. So Curtis going to chill. Meanwhile, Dakota has caught up to Doug in a big hurry as we're coming into 10 to go. And Dakota Wilkinson going to start putting the moves on dear old dad out in front of the field.
Right there, back bumper, but we will see the caution. Looks like we got some replays of what happened there. I believe Clark might have gotten into him, but this is the beauty of TV. We got another view of it, and yeah, a little bit of hooking the bumpers together, and then, oh, Curtis hits that Uke tire, and you see the wheels immediately shift.
Yeah, if we can see, if we got a good look, let's get a look right here. Watch the left front, thump, and that's going to break everything that is needing to be broken on the front of that race car. That's going to send it backwards. So one more look from our Seattle 11 camera, and it's right there. Left front mangled. Curtis going to need repairs, and that'll stack him up. And, well, add a little intrigue to this race. Doug Wilkinson was running away. Dakota Wilkinson had caught him, and now we're going to get a restart where the whole field's going to be stacked up quite nicely with just a few to go.
Yeah, in our Delaware-style restart, Dakota. Next to Ryan Clark, then it's Nick Holton and Haley Wilkinson. As problems for both the 50 and the 74. We're back underway. Green flag in the air, and Clark gets a great jump immediately here, side by side with the 25.
Ooh.
Code gets loose as well. It's going to cost him. He goes back to third. Clark to second.
It's nearly an all Wilkinson top 5.
Nearly.
Yeah, nearly. As they work their way out of the corner, Doug Wilkinson, Ryan Clark, and Dakota Wilkinson. Clark picking up second on the restart and applying the heat to Doug Wilkinson. How much race car does Doug have left? What does Clark have in him? Clark rolling up to the back, front bumper once, front bumper twice. We'll see how he approaches the right-hand corners as Dakota Wilkinson closing back in and trying to be a factor in this one. You can see the back end of the Clark car stepping out a little bit in the corner, but he catches back up to it with throttle. Wilkinson, Clark, and Wilkinson, your top 3 with 8 laps left.
It's how they like it a lot of the time, having that strong front bumper kicking out the side a little bit. Clark coming off a win just a little bit ago out at State Line Speedway. Found success, got to victory lane there. Trying to do it his home track now. Would be the second time he's won here at Evergreen after his second time winning elsewhere.
Put the bumper to him late in the corner that time, and you saw Wilkinson gonna have to back the car up on the brake pedal to make sure he didn't dive too far out. And, oh yeah, big old love tap that time from Clark coming through, but Wilkinson squares the corner off and hangs on to her. 6 to go. Now this is the kind of physicality that we expect out of the figure 8s, and specifically the Outlaws. They have so much power that they have to race off the front bumper a little more aggressively. Otherwise, passing is nearly impossible. So you're going to see Clark get into the turn, and right when they're setting the car in the corner, and usually somewhere around the apex, give them at least 1 bump and maybe 2 to try to get Wilkinson to break that car off too early and push out of the lane so Clark can dart underneath. So far, Wilkinson's had the counter for each one of those bumps that Clark's put on him.
Doug knows how to handle these cars under pressure. As he has the 51 coming alongside him, they're going to go neck and neck through the intersection. Clark going to the high side against Doug Wilkinson. And whoa, they hook together.
Oh, around they go, and Wilkinson tags the Uke tire. That gives the lead to Clark, and you saw the counter move there for Doug was at the apex of the corner. He had to get to the gas a little bit sooner, and around he went with a little contact, and that'll give Clark the lead.
Clark in sole control. Dakota under pressure from both Nick Holton and his sister Haley. We make it 2 to go. It'll be the white flag next time by for the driver, the number 51, Ryan Clark.
Looking for his second Evergreen Speedway win. Long ways behind him for second, third, and fourth. Has around the turn to the white flag this time by.
One more trip through the 8 for the driver, the number 51. Dakota holding off Nick Holton's number 71 and Haley Wilkinson in the 35. But through the intersection one final time right behind Doug, rolling through the left-hand corner and coming to the checkered flag. It is Ryan Clark, your race winner.
Clark will take the W in front of Dakota Wilkinson and Nick Holton. And rough lot for Doug Wilkinson. You feel like as good a race as he ran, he deserved later, but that is how it breaks sometimes. As your winner, Ryan Clark to the middle, and oh, Dakota Wilkinson gonna put some smoke down on the tires here at the very end.
Hey, have some fun, celebrate.
That's right.
Podium finish.
We'll talk to your top 3 coming up down track side of the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium.
By its nature, Outlaw Figure 8 Racing is a very chaotic event. Walk us through what's going on from your perspective when you're in the number 71.
There's a lot of chaos, that's for sure. You never really know what's going to happen lap by lap, and it's just kind of play it by ear and just see what the intersection looks like every single time going through.
You made the right calls. You put the car in the right place. Gets you a 3rd place finish. How you feeling going into the season championship?
It's definitely a lot of momentum and good feeling going into the end of the year, so I'm really happy about that.
And who would you like to thank for getting the 71 here to 3rd place tonight?
I'd like to thank MCA Creations, Boney Brothers Racing, NBQ Chassis, Northwest Adventure Rentals. I'd like to, most importantly, wish my parents a happy anniversary today.
Driver the number 71, your 3rd place finisher tonight, Nick Holton. All right, Dakota, that was a very chaotic race there. Moving on through the field, you were up front for most of it. What happened there to the car at the end? It looked like you might have started to lose it a little bit.
I hit the Uke tire 2 times that whole race. I was surprised nothing was broke to where I couldn't finish.
Hey, a clinic on how to handle a struggling car. Here you are, 2nd place. How are you feeling going into the finale?
I honestly don't know. After hitting 2 Uke tires, I might have lost all my talent.
All righty. Who would you like to thank for coming home 2nd place tonight?
I'd like to thank Tony V's Garage, Pacific Northwest Forerunner, Rep and Welding, Pilchuck Heating, 8 Wesco, Elite Fleet Wash, J2 Racing, Tony V's Garage. I've already said that one. Waltz Woodco. That's it.
Your 2nd place finisher tonight, driving the number 25, that's Dakota Wilkinson. A lot of passionate feelings, I know, resulting from this one. I'm gonna not take a side here, let it be. This was, I'm sure, a very cool win for you coming home first weekend after you pick it up at State Line.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to go to State Line and win, and then come here and win. You know, some things happened on track that I won't talk about on TV and all that. No, it's a good feeling. We got fast time tonight, won the race, and it is what it is. I'm a little distracted by someone up here, but it is what it is. And you know, I'll go talk to those guys that I had incidents with, and we'll get it solved. And you know, this is part of racing. We got these big bumpers on here to use them, and it's, you know, I didn't mean to wreck anyone if I did, but whatever.
We're gonna skip over 2 weeks from now, and we're gonna head to the end of your season. 60 Minutes of Fear is where it all comes down. How you feeling going into that? I'm feeling pretty good. We got some kinks to work out on this car. It's kind of arguing with us today, but I'm really excited for 60 Minutes. That's our big race here, and if we can put on a good show again and have a good result, I'll be pretty happy. And who would you like to thank for this win tonight? I got so many amazing sponsors. I got Action Machine, Bulldog Haven Northwest, Thermotech Powder Coating, MBQ Chassis, Boney Motorsports, Holden Racing, so many more, and I can't think of them all right now, but I got to thank them all. They're such great sponsors. All the people that helped throughout this year, and then my dad and my Uncle Chris. Without them, I wouldn't be here, and I say that every time, but I mean it. However you look at it, one thing remains the same. Your race winner tonight's the 51 of Ryan Clark.
Well, Figure 8 Mania did not disappoint here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. And Derek Todoroff, this was a fun show here, and we have got another fun show coming up next week because we're going to smash them, crash them, and do all kinds of fun stuff, aren't we?
Yeah, that we are. You got buses, boats, Hornets, and then mini bump to pass, the big bump to pass, Youth Hornets. It's sure to be a great one.
And a demo derby. Next time you guys can come to Evergreen Speedway, there's nothing like being here live, and you don't have a whole lot of opportunities left, is Saturday the 14th, championship night number 2 featuring the Wing Sprint cars, all 3 divisions of figure eights once again, and the Hornets. Pencil it in. You're not going to want to miss it. And thank thank you so much for what's been a really successful 70th anniversary season. Big thank you to Griff, Derek for putting the show together, our awesome camera guys for Derek Todoroff. My name is Caleb Hart. We will see you guys coming up next Sunday here on Seattle 11 for Home Track Heroes.
Thanks for watching Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Join us next week for more great racing from Evergreen Speedway.